spent time at Poultry City Company, operating under government's One District, One Factory initiative. The company, which started with 5,000 beds in a rented facility, now has 16,000 beds and has moved into a permanent facility after it benefited from government's One District, One Factory policy.
This project is a product of 1D1F. When the government introduced the 1D1F project, I put a proposal and a business plan to 1D1F Secretariat. Then, after some time, I was referred to Export and Import Bank, people call Exim Bank Ghana. And after my interaction and discussion with Exim Bank, I was assisted with finance. So this project, to a large extent, is sponsored and financed by Exim Bank of Ghana. So I'm grateful to the President for introducing the 1D1F. I'm grateful to the 1D1F Secretariat and then Exim Bank Ghana. I'm so happy with Exim Bank for two reasons. Number one, they give me 1 year moratorium. After taking the loan, I didn't pay anything. I didn't pay the principal. I didn't pay the interest for 1 solid year, 12 months. This signifies that they are ready to support and assist the local people who want to go into business. Or in other words, I want to say that they want to assist the young entrepreneurs in this country. That is a very good thing. The second thing is about their interest rate. I can tell you that even if the interest that they give to me, if they make it ×2, you will not get it in any bank. They go as low as 8% per annum.
Are you serious?
And that is incredible. Everybody can go to Exim Bank and find out this. 8% per annum. Very incredible. You won't get it anywhere.
With a workforce of 11, Poultry City sits on just about an acre of its 7 acres of land, and it is engaged in the production of layer beds under the cage and deep litter system. Beds here are imported from Holland.
It's unfortunate we are all promoting indigenous product, indigenous productivity, but unfortunately my beds are all imported from Holland. The reason is simple. When I started, I bought 6,000 beds from a local hatchery. All the beds all the beds died out of Gumoro. I bought another one. Most of them died. The few that left were not producing up to expectation. So I decided not to go into local. I know some local hatcheries are doing well, but I don't want to take the risk. So I import my beds from Holland.
Though the birds are imported, their feed is produced locally from a combination of maize, wheat bran, fish meal, shells, soya, and concentrate, the only imported ingredients. It takes between 16 and 18 weeks for the birds to start laying, depending on the breed and management practice of the farmer, after which they can continue to lay eggs for a maximum of 1 year. In spite of its closeness to the national capital, Poultry City is not connected to the national grid. It produces 500 crates of eggs daily.
Survival. At times I prove and be and make me a casano, my man. Most of times, you might prove up the whole week. Putting your time, portrait, my dear, my fancy sanity. Because won't mean I enter Uncle Kobe Didi every day, or the means you or baby auntie. Won't me a man to her, then got time, baby.
We are a bit far from town, and that is what any standard portrait should be. So we don't have electricity. It's a major challenge to me because I want to produce my own feed. Currently, I produce all my feed from Ashaman, distance of about 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers from here to Ashaman. It takes about 2 hours drive in and 2 hours drive out. And I've bought a milling machine for about 1 year now. The machine is sitting down in my warehouse because I can't fix it. I can't install it because I don't have electricity. So if I get electricity, I'll be able to install this machine. It will reduce my cost of production. I will employ a lot of people because I will need people to work at the milling machine, and it will enhance the employment. My cost of production will come down. My road is very, very, very unmotorable because looking at this thing that we have hiding here, if the rain starts, I have issue with road. It rains to around August, September, October, I get cut off from the farm. So when it comes, I have to go and prepare this feed, come at a point, get local boys to carry it at a high cost. And it is adding up to my cost of production. So electricity, one, two, the road. Anybody who knows poultry knows that they take a lot of water. You can see that structure there. It's about 9,000 birds. They drink about 4,000 liters a day. And that is huge, yes. Poultry, you can't even do 2,000 birds without a very good source of water or regular source of water. So I've dug my own borehole. So I have a borehole. I don't have a problem with water at all.
All manner of people visit Poultry City for several reasons.
Yeah, I came to this farm to understudy the processes, how they take care of the chicks and the chicken, because this is one of the things I want to do very soon. So I'm going to do it as a part-time, but I have a lot of time at my disposal after close of work. There'll be nothing to do, so I'll be using that time and most of the weekend to try to establish something, because I'm sure and I know this is going to add an extra income. What I've seen, so even entertaining, just come the pastime alone is enough, beside the money, but the money aspect is also very key, not only for you, but the people you can give them jobs to do. And I think that these are some of the things we need to do to support the society.
I'm a customer who always come here to buy eggs for people in Kofodia, because I'm getting them fresh from the farm gate, and the prices over here too are a little cheap, so that whatever I will sell at the end of the day, I can make a little profit on them. I have customers in Kofodia who are willing to buy them, so at the end of every weekend I come around to buy some.
The global COVID-19 pandemic has not spared the poultry industry either.
Before the COVID, I would say everything was normal. We're doing our normal business. But when the COVID started coming, the fear of locking the country down and other things resulted into panic buying, especially before the president came to give out the partial lockdown. People were saying that the country was going to lock down completely. And if you have about 10,000 birds and the country is locked down for just 2 weeks, you can imagine, because how are you going to feed your birds? So this was a challenge that resulted into panic buying to most of us, because the things that you take your time to buy within a week or two, you need to raise capital. And sometimes you need to go and borrow money to go and buy the things and come and put them, because if the unexpected happens and the country is locked down, then you can still have some business to run. Another challenge we have out of the COVID was that during the lockdown time and when the lockdown was lifted, there was a glut. A glut is where eggs are not sold. People are not ready to buy the eggs. You produce the eggs, they are not buying. That's what we call a glut. And for the past 1 week, after the lifting of the partial lockdown, glut has happened to us. People are not buying the eggs because they are saying that when the lockdown was going on, most of their customers were not buying. Customers such as schools, because schools were locked down, and this is an industry or an institution that demand a lot of eggs. So when schools were closed down, they were not buying anymore, so it affected us. Number two, the Indomie and other tea, those who make beverages in the evenings to sell with eggs and other things, also did not get a lot of market because most of their customers were not patronizing.
With support from the One District, One Factory initiative, Poultry City is looking at becoming a tourist farm.
Anybody who comes here will see a lot of things that he or she hasn't seen before. Probably he or she has heard and read about it, but when you come here, you see them real, like the fish pond I'm talking about. The fish pond, I'll go into tilapia probably and a catfish. When it comes to the birds, to like, I'll do guinea fowl, I'll do turkeys, I'll do ducks. One-stop shop. When you come here, you get a lot of things, and probably I'll even add a restaurant to it, so that when you come and you want to eat, you go to the pond, you point out to a fish that you want, we catch it, so we call it point and kill. So you point it, we give it to you, and we prepare it to you, you eat, and you drive home safely.
For the youth to embrace agriculture and, for that matter, poultry production, Mr. Emmanuel Badu makes some suggestions.
Most of the young people are not able to access the loan because of collateral requirements. So if the government can do something to give collateral-free loans to our young people in this country, I believe most of them will go into agric. Probably they haven't gotten the necessary education because, one, the poultry industry and farming as a whole in this country has a lot of prospects. I will encourage every young person to go into it because there are a lot of opportunities out there. Land acquisition is not that much difficult in this country. And I want to also encourage them and tell them that probably don't know, it is one of the areas that your tax is very, very minimal. If you are in agriculture, your tax is sometimes even tax-free. So they should venture into it.
Poultry production is a very important source of livelihood, provides ready cash for emergency needs, supplies the fast-growing human population with high-quality protein, and contributes significantly to food security, poverty alleviation, and ecologically sound management of natural resources. Experts say opportunities abound in the country to expand poultry production to meet the growing demand.
There are strong women whose stories teach us